What's up, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? It's me, Carl. Want to go for a rip in my hot tub? How you doing? How are you doing? Welcome to another great episode of the Hash Info Show. Happy Easters! Spelled Ishtar, pronounced Easter. Ishtar was the god of fertility and sexuality and sensuality. Hence the egg and the bunny. The egg represents fertility, the bunny represents banging. Most of you wouldn't know this because you're all conformed to a religion that designates your history in the shape of one single crappy lie. 2,000 years is all the world has ever lived. There is no chance gods are real. They are fables. Well, that is a fable. We come from the gods. We are made in the image of the gods. And that is something that most will never grasp. The abilities you have within you are godlike, but you choose, or rather you allow yourself to be not given the respect you are due. You think, oh, I'm just a simple man. Well, I am not. I am a boss from way back with huge gonads, and I do not mess about. So let this be your wake up. Most of you will never wake up, and that is why the world sits in peril, still to this day. The inability of all of us to wake up each other on the same day will never happen. And unfortunately, this has led us astray from reality. Into what I like to refer to as an absolute virtual reality right now. We are playing their game. By not collecting knowledge every single day like you are going to live forever, you embarrass yourself and your own intellect. I accrue knowledge on the basis that knowledge is going to set me free. And I won't stop. Knowledge did set me free, in fact, and knowledge could set you free, in fact, if you were to understand knowledge is power. Knowledge's power is not to enslave the human race. It's not to get an idea in your head so you can turn it around and sell it to someone else. Knowledge is a gift from the gods, which allows you to thrive. Not survive, thrive. Meaning you have it within you to understand water and food. Come here, come say hi. Come here, my Bengal tiger. Come say hi. I didn't like talking about you too much, and I wondered why everybody online was trying to buy you off of me. They thought I was stupid. They were gonna buy you off of me for 1,500 or 2,000, and then sell you for 10 or 15 grand, buddy. Why didn't you tell me you're an expensive kitty, buddy? Huh? How come you never told Daddy you're expensive? Huh? I would have just upped the price. I would have got rid of you back then and saved so much money on kitty litter and headache pills. Eh? Ooh, purr, purr. Come have a look at me and my buddy. Me, this is my buddy. Me? Were you my buddy? He's my buddy. Say Happy Easter to them, Takes. I'll sing you the Easter song. It goes like this. The Easter song is one of my favorites to get into this time of the year. And I'll explain. When I think about Easter, I think about how my mom was always doing stuff for me and waking up before me going to hide Easter eggs. I was a real turd burglar. I had to have my Easter eggs hidden like far apart. I didn't want no 20-second or 20-minute Easter egg challenge. I wanted to be challenged. Are there no eggs in the eaves troughs, Mom? What were you thinking? Mom, is there any eggs up in that 17-foot spruce tree over there? I might break my leg if I climb, and you got to give me a boost just to get up there. I am 5 years old, Mom. 1985. Are there eggs over there behind that military bunker, Mom? Why didn't you wake up in the night and go hide them there? I want a challenge, Ma. My God, I was out there. I would be crying come 4 p.m. I can't believe I wasn't a fat little turd when I was young. I would eat my Easter eggs and then I'd run around. I'd be like, are they over there in this direction? And she would say, oh, they're over by the fence. And I would lose my shit. Don't you tell me they're by the freaking fence, Ma. I'm going to point in a very wide radius and you just tap on the window if I'm really cold. Like if I am going extremely cold, like to take the neighbor's Easter egg. I swear to you, I found more Easter eggs that didn't belong to me. And I was like, I would cry and have to give back the Easter eggs to the other people in the village. It sucked. I was like, your kid's too stupid. They don't deserve these effing eggs. Sometimes I would wake up. I guess some people would plant the eggs the night before. Back in the day in the 80s, Easter, I remember Easter where it was all grass and all sunny. Yo, Carrie, Jeff, and John, and you guys are going to get busted for having too many people in the house. I got to let you know, there's like 19 names in that, just in that single wording. Carrie, Jeff, John, Jake, Paul, Richard, Jonathan, Michael. Tiggy says, hi, Jeff. Jeff and John. Carrie, Jeff, and John. You John? I think you're John. You're Jeff or John? Carry on, Jeff and John and Michael. This is Tiggs. This is Tiggs. This is Tiggy. I could tell his ear was itchy, eh? I'm a good daddy. It's John Michael. Holy crap. Buddy, you didn't tell me you were married to a dude. That's awesome. I have lots of friends that are married to dudes. That is very cool. Congrats. Melty is secretly engaged to DT. They got engaged the other day. Sloppy Heads and DT. So if you didn't know, they're having a Trailer Park YouTube wedding today on the Sloppy Heads show. That's a big cat, bro. He is big. Yes. You want to see something? Actually, this is interesting. This cat is considered a bit of a tiger. Hey, what's up, Catawana Grows? How you doing? Happy Easters, y'all. Yes, he's my big baby, and I love him. I'm a big guy. I'm not like 400 pounds, but I'm wide. Like if you have a chick, I'm wider than your chick, and I don't care if she's 300 pounds. I'm wider than her. So you can figure. Oh, look at this guy! Look what he does to me. Oh, he's a good boy. This cat, if you ever get a Bengal tiger, he'll come. He's just gonna sit on the floor beside me, but this cat has a mind of his own. You do not tell him what to do. If he wants you to pick no one picks up. That is like my cat. He's my shadow. No one picks up my cat. If you pick up my cat, he'll engage all 10 claws. No, he's got 20 claws, and he will like try and pry his way off of you. If I call him, he'll come right to me like a dog. If he's in the basement, and I point the camera like down at the steps, and I'm here, if I call him, he'll come running. And he'll bolt up the steps. He plays fetch like a dog. He's very vocal. Like most of my dogs I've ever had are very. If I say, "Hey, buddy, speak," or whatever, they'll just talk to me for a long time. My animals love chatting with me. It's amazing. Hope everyone's Easter is going amazing. I'm gonna give this a rinse out. Give the old mothership a rinse out. But I thought I would come on here and just give you a little chat. Got an unopened container of organic organic almond drink. It's from Earth's Own. This expires May 18th. Okay? I don't want to talk a lot about health and stuff on every episode, but I think now more than ever, I think it's important that we take a minute, take a 10-second that is, and every day think about what we're putting in our body in the morning. You know, starting our body off with fuel that can be broken down, and our intestinal tract and our gastric juices and our biles inside can pull out the necessities, right? So there's a term called, just give me a second. There's a term called dense, calorie dense, nutritious food. So calorically dense. This is 30 calories per cup, okay? So you got 30 calories per cup up here. Wow. I hate my life. I hate everything about my life. I'm going to read this to you. 30 calories, and I'm kidding, but in the camera, his phones were $1,200, Samsung S9 Plus, and I look like shit. You know, I'm a god. Look at this. I'm going to take the toque off just for a second. You're going to see how sexy I am. Should I do it? Not yet. I don't want to gain viewership just yet. So today on the morning show, fuck, I got blinded by fucking 800 watts of LED there. Oh, fuck, we got this. We got one of these, I think it's a pink dragon. We got that, and then we got this beauty here. And this is a, fucking hint of mint. It won't show up, though. It says hint of mint there. And these are organic, okay? So in the pink dragon smoothie, we got banana, dragon fruit, kiwi, strawberries, lychee, acai berries, maca, hemp protein, and chia seeds. That's in this one. And in this one, we have banana, spinach, zucchini, cacao nibs, sunflower seeds, fresh chlorella, flax seeds, peppermint, and baobab. Baobab. I don't know what baobab is. I'm eating it. That's kind of how we do it. This company kind of dicked me around. There was something in my smoothie. They ended up giving me my order of smoothies for free. I don't know, I ate plastic. It tasted like hell. I ordered again because I'm a freak, and these do taste really good. If I ever have plastic in my smoothie again, I am not going to get a refund. I'm going to go straight to facility and make them eat plastic. I'm not kidding. I told them in the email, I said, you make sure, I should read you what I do for when a company rips me off in the corporate world. This company said, you know what, holy shit, there's plastic in there, we'll look into it. We take this very seriously. I responded with, I'm glad you do. I appreciate the sensitivity and the nature of your response. I will wait patiently 2 fucking days, exact wording, period, send. Came back. There was more words, I can't remember what it was. This was 3 weeks ago, so F you, I can't remember. Now, we're going to go with some bananas here, extra protein and things like that. Whatever's in a banana, who cares? You're chucking extra banana in there. You get it like that. And that's for this one. Okay, you're going to add just a little bit more of that. This one's a minty one, so I want to kind of keep it hopefully chocolatey and minty. I don't know if that banana just cocked over the whole operation. Let's find out. I'm going to play a tune, and we're going to do some trivia. I'm curious if anyone knows when the Spanish flu was in the world. Like, when was it going around the world? The Spanish flu. Does anyone know? You can Google it. You can Google it to find the answer. Chuck it in the chat. 2 points. The Spanish flu, when did it hit the world? I think it lasted longer because people didn't understand the information, and I think that's what happened here. I think they allowed the lack of information to not be funneled in an age when information can travel from one side of Africa to the other side of Manitoba in 1 second. And they want us to believe that this is we screwed up. We'll deal with it, but first let's figure out this. No, we'll forget by then. 1918, beautiful answer. Great stuff. I don't know if it was 17, I don't know if it was 15, 16, 17, 18. I wasn't alive 102 years ago, so I don't know the exact date. I'm going to say, yeah, that sounds right to me. Here's the scary thing, nobody was alive that can actually, sit down and tell a story verbatim of what it was like during that time. We don't have hundreds of books written on the Spanish flu that are readily available for us by historians who dealt with this, That bothers me. Our history is being taken from us. The Smiths. You should Google the word Smithsonian Museum and see how the Smithsonian Museum buys up the history that our ancestors lived. Allowing for a fabricated history to be lied and told to us on a daily and basically every century. They'll revamp history. See, they have psychologists who will look at history and how it will influence the population at its peak right now or in its prime right now. The history that is, they can't figure out how Jesus Christ and the Easter Bunny and resurrection 2,000 years ago even is a legitimate history now. We have pyramids on every continent in the world. Every continent around the world has pyramids on it. These pyramids are between 20 and 50 and 65,000 years old. We were told Christ was resurrected about 2,000 years ago, and the world started then. 15 years ago, this is true. 15 years ago, Christianity denounced dinosaurs. Christianity said dinosaurs are fake only 15 years ago. So you all slow down with your religion game. You're screwing over future generations with your culty views and vibes. I believe in good people, and I think good people's voices are being hindered by evil right now. So as you sit down for Easter this year, whether you're in the great state of Kentucky or the great country of Germany or Africa or the beautiful continent of the UK, England, Russia, wherever you live, you should be understanding that the world we live in is a lie. And it was created by liars to control the masses' minds. And I'll just reiterate this one thing. If you thought I was lying or that I'm making this up, that they're controlling the masses' minds, 15 years ago, Jesus Christ believers were told by a person in cloth who wore a robe that dinosaurs were fake. So all you Christians, all you believers, any race, doesn't matter any religion, doesn't matter Christianity, it's just Christianity this is the Christianity day, right? You have all these days all over the world where they get people to come there and congregate and fabricate. But here's the real truth. In Iraq, brilliant minds in Iraq, hard-working men and women in Iraq created monoliths, sculptures of great beauty and significance that the United States of America destroyed, stole, not just the US, but America. Russians steal history, Americans steal history. We know British steal history. There is an ancient jewel that I believe it's the Maharaja's jewel. Britain has it. And I can't remember which country. It's somewhere in Middle East. They want their jewel back. And it's in the Queen's jewels, So we can see that, history is there to steal land, riches, women, men, children from those that are weaker, are less, have less followers, Did you know there have only been a couple times in history where the governments of the world ask you to rat out, seriously, to ask you to rat out your countrymen? Adolf Hitler is one of those people. Adolf Hitler made you rat out people in villages that he controlled, he oversaw through government law. We're headed that way. We're headed that way. Did you know in Germany, in the concentration camps, if you were allowed to work, you had to wear a star on your jacket. They gave you a yellow children's star. And that meant that the elites of Germany and America, this is how disgusting it is, Bayer Pharmaceutical Corporation is owned and operated by Germany and America. Monsanto. These are all companies that need to be brought down immediately. Bayer Pharmaceutical, Monsanto. But the country they stay in are as corrupt as the corporation hiding them, right? So the country is hiding the corporation pays the country to keep them hidden, right? To keep the laws from allowing them to be taken, jailed, beaten, ripped apart for what they deserve. So stay tuned, because I'm raw and real, and there's a lot of people on here that aren't. A lot of people come on YouTube and they think, oh, let's have fun today. Great, have fun, smile, but how about be informative? How about create discussions that possibly influence change in government, not allowing the evil of history to be repeated? How about these things, okay? And I don't think many people will, and it's far too late for a lot of you. There's a thing going around lately on the net or whatever, it's a great statement. And it's that it's far too late for the masses. Those who have already been awoken will not be fooled and will not assimilate or fall in line with the sheeple. They can't wipe out all these people that are awake. So there's going to be elites, the awoke, and sheeple. And you want to decide which one you are right away, because it's time for you to decide. Like last week, the week before, and the week before that, you should have awoken. And if you haven't, your fear has overcome you, and it's forced you to stay a sheeple. The fear, your actual instinct should have kicked in, and you should be like, I'm a Hashi for life. There's something to be said about people who are followers. And then there's something that can be, realized by those who are leaders. I've dealt with this for a long time. I think when I stopped, or when I considered if I was gonna be a follower. The last time I had that thought with myself, I was 13 years old in 1993, and I thought to myself, no fucking chance I'm gonna go hang out with these rich fucks. I wasn't rich. They had more school knowledge than me. You know, I was about middle of the pack for the clique there, and I'm like, fuck it, you know? I'm being my own person, you know? So when I went back to school, and they're like, hey, you want to come over? And whatever, you know, kids, some kids are mean, some kids aren't. I was tough, so I didn't have to worry about getting picked on. But my brain wasn't maybe the smartest out of anyone in my school, and I hung around with the smartest in my school. So I was like, you know, I'll play soccer with you nerds, but after that, you know, I'm also not going to copy off you anymore. I'm going to, you know, I actually was moved to the front of the class, or the middle of the class, or the back of the class, you know, and I would always make sure, like, where they wanted to put me, I was like, no, I don't want to sit there. You know, just put me in the fucking corners, you know, like wherever, like off to the edge, you know, in the center, at the front row, you know, we're all like, hot chicks were always sitting in the front. So like, put me in the fucking front, you know? After grade, whatever that was, 13, I'd be like grade 5 or something, grade 6, grade 4 or 5. Grade 6. Went into high school, grade 8. And it was actually the last year because of bullying, actually. The grade 12ers would bully the grade 8ers, and we were just like, the size difference was just too much. And so they changed it, and they put it grade 9 after that. After my year of school was the last to go into high school before grade 9. All grades after that had to stay in grade 8 was in middle school still. And then when you hit grade 9, then you moved into the high school. I'm telling you, I've never been so scared in high school in my life. And just in grade 8, you know, just for like part of grade 8, I was like, man, this sucks. Like, these people are huge. They got way bigger muscles. It was like 6 months into grade 8, I had already flared up to, you know, a grade 9 or grade 10er, because I knew I had to. And then when I was done grade 8 or 9, I was a grade 10 or 11er flare up, you know. And then grade 10, I was pounding grade 12ers like they were nothing. And of course, there's a huge giant Ian, but he still had respect for me because I beat up all his friends, right? They bullied me, so I beat him up. I don't condone violence. I just, you know, self-defense is a necessity. And so, once all that was done, I decided that I didn't want to be a bully. You know, I think I was about grade 9, grade 8 or 9, grade 7, 8 or 9. I was like, I don't want to be a bully. I want to help those that are being bullied. So that's when I actually was like, I tuned a lot of people through high school because there were a lot of evil, right? And I would tune you. And I would say, any chick, any girls, I would say, any guy picks on you, let me know, and I'll squish him. Solid squish him. And then also, same with guys. If you were like a bit of a nerdy guy and I saw you getting picked on by someone who was bigger, and I knew I couldn't take you by myself, I would, hey, and I would go like this, and let's, say this kind of, you get him with your eyes, you jump him on his back, and I'm going to sweep him. And we would take big dudes out like they were nothing, like chopping little twigs down. But yeah, I don't mess around. And the people I grew up with, lots of crackheads, lots of cokeheads, lots of coke dealers, lots are drug dealers, lots are like weird people I grew up with in high school, and I never talked to them after high school. I just know that they're these people. They ended up in jail and shit, right? Where I'm from in Canada is a vast drug culture here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Every drug imaginable is here. It was really good. And so I always tried to steer clear from drugs. I've never used hard drugs. Never done heroin or ecstasy or I don't know. I don't know what I've never used crystal meth. I've never used shit like that. At least not knowingly. Like if somebody drugged me, I wouldn't know. They didn't run up and tell me. That would destroy them. But after getting out of high school and learning about drug addicts and things like that, as I became a 20-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old, I began to question people's sanity because they were using alcohol, cigarettes, hard drugs, and literally you could see them just wasting away, just destroying their life. Their body type had changed. They're not fat or anything, but just sunken in cheeks, bald, glasses, like everything that a person shouldn't be going through at like 25 or 30 was like happening to all the guys that I knew. Like literally all their hair fell out, all turned gray, you know? I had lots of friends do stupid shit on alcohol, almost kill themselves, drinking and driving, drinking and snowmobiling, drinking and quadding, drinking and dirt biking, drinking and driving motorcycles. And that was a tough one, like seeing a lot of those people because it's drinking, right? Like it's such an accepted thing, alcohol, but yet it's so evil and hurts almost every. I don't know if alcohol hasn't hurts everyone it's touched, right? If you touch alcohol, you've pretty much at one point had something bad happen to you. I can't guarantee that's true for everyone. It's definitely true for the majority. No one that's been an alcoholic for 30 years and be like, oh, alcohol's awesome, you know? They'll have a story about one of their friends that died, ruined their life on alcohol, beat their wife did something weird to their husband, you know? So I always try and look at the big picture, and the big picture that I see is the people that I know that have been growing cannabis for 20, 30, 40 years, they're fine. You know, they're 7-year-old dudes now, 60-year-old dudes. They still have all their hair. Their hair's not all gray. They don't wear glasses, you know? I know a guy that, I'm not going to talk about him as he's my best friend, but there's no phone call evidence of me. Like, Google doesn't know who he is to me because I'm a boss. I don't sit there and get tracked when I go hang out with my friends. He's old now. He's really old. And, I don't know. Just the way we grew up, the way I met him was cool. The way I I used to hash for him like all the time, and this guy had like 8 to 9 to 12 ounces per plant, you know. And he would say to me, "Whatever you can trim tonight, you can wash it." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I got too much." Man, I think I washed 13 batches. I had an 8-bag kit. I broke it down into 2 kits, 2 buckets, and I just went to town. And I think I did 13 washes in a single day. And I didn't start in the morning. Not washes. I did 13 batches of hash. That hash was so sticky. He grew almost entirely sativas. I have video and I have pictures of this stuff. Med grower from way back. And this guy was absolutely an organic grower. Way before YouTube was even born. Way before. YouTube is young. YouTube is not old at all. My buddy is 5 times older than YouTube plus. Wait, is YouTube 20 years old or 12 years old? I think is it 12? No, is it? Google is 20 years old? Anyway, I can't remember. But the guy, I don't even know how old the guy is. I never actually saw his license. I don't know how old he is. Plus, I don't remember. Oh my god, this smells so good. This is pink dragon fruit or something. I'll pour some of this in mine. I usually have 3 or 4 cups of smoothie every day. Sometimes I have 10. If you're a boss, you know that. It was about 3, I think. 3 or 4 I had today. Ooh. It tastes like exactly like a strawberry shake. Give me a second, drop this off. Yeah, I got the same reaction as I thought in my head. And it was that. Tastes like assholes. Paying way too much for smoothies, I'll tell you that. In the future, don't ever buy your smoothie things. Make them yourself, okay? So easy to make them. I can explain to you how this actually kept me healthy in a time when nobody wants to go in the kitchen and cut up a banana, spinach, zucchini, cacao nibs, throw in some sunflower seeds, fresh chlorella, flax seeds, peppermint, and baobab. Okay? So it's ease and convenience you have to pay for, right? This is probably 4 times more expensive than making it yourself.
Could be more than that, depending on how bulky your ingredients are. Boy, that one tastes super sour. So you can do toast if you want for breakfast. I'm gonna have a single pistachio. Happy Easter to you. Do you eat seafood? No, I don't. I have. Seafood. Seafood is the last thing I stopped eating. And I just think if I came from the ocean, I wouldn't want people eating my babies, you know. So, and I also have seen the devastation fisheries have on our ecosystem. We can't even say an ecosystem. It's like downplaying the life that lives within the ocean. The families. You Googled it? That's awesome, Canna Wanna Grows. There's some great stuff in there for you to Google. I think you'll be quite blown away by what you see. Cleaning out my bowl quick here. Literally just takes a few seconds to make it look amazing. I take a single piece of paper towel. It's like, I don't know, I'm like scared to use paper towel, even like go to someone else's house. Not recently, but whatever, 3 weeks ago, a month ago when I went to someone's house before, like we were super trying to follow health guidelines and stuff. Also trying to understand that this could be not what it's made out to be. And boy, if there are some crisis actors acting, there have been enough people on TV. If these people don't have families here in Winnipeg, we're going to do all kinds of investigating on these people. There have been a few people to come forward and say they have the coronavirus here in Manitoba, and I want to make sure they're telling the truth, you know? There's some stuff going on in the world, and until we know more, we have to stay smart. We have to stay informed and realize if we still don't know anybody that has the coronavirus, this could very well be a poisoning of people. I don't know how to explain it yet, but a mass coup. And I think the people that are being moved out are probably pretty evil people. I think certain areas of the world don't want any more to do with evil. They say time will tell, but and then they also say time is of the essence. It's kind of seriously contradict each other. Alright, you should see this thing now. We're talking, she is 101 times sexier. I'm hoping I can still drive this into here without getting any on my fingers. Had a nice bath today. Just nailed it. Oh, we did it. Just give her a good once around. Get in there and just once around it. If your fingers are strong, you should be able to do this. Once she starts going, do not stop. You keep going. You drive it in there harder and faster, and you keep turning now. I got a whole paper towel inside that, and that's what happens when you do it like that. Now, witness a thing of glory and beauty. I swear I brought out the bug, but I guess I didn't. I gotta look at it. Grab something else out of there first. I told my chick I burned her toast because she wasn't very nice to me yesterday. She just went. She's nice to me every day. I can honestly say I'd rather be locked up with her than most people, so it's all good. So I just got word that my cat was on the laptop again last night. Trying to phone home or something. Little bugger. Oh my goodness, I didn't even show you Easter eggs today. I gotta do some Easter egging for you and all that. I don't even know what that means. But what I do know is I have plenty of hash and lots of seeds and beans to go through. We'll talk to you all about some different kinds and some different kinds. I'd like to do some giveaways today. Got a couple sponsors, a couple cannabis companies that, not cannabis company, I'm so sorry. A couple of companies that, online stores, okay? I got some sponsors from some online stores. There's even some stores that are here in the city. I'm gonna see if they'll, sponsor the show a bit. I haven't even I actually don't really want to ask anyone in the city just because the city doesn't, like Winnipeggers don't really have any extra cash. I'm sure most people don't have any extra cash, but Winnipeggers right now, taking care of their families and stuff. Nobody's businesses are open here in Winnipeg. We don't own corporations here in Winnipeg, so Winnipeggers are suffering, and that's sad to me. Right now, there's nothing I can do to help that I've thought of. If anybody else has any community driven ideas, like ways you are helping out your community in these times, pass them on, put them in the chat. I'd love to maybe try doing your boss moves you're doing in your province or your country. I'd like to hear some hashies doing good. So we're talking about rosin today. Hash rosin. Gummy ooey gooey hash rosin. Where's my dab tools though? Like, where are all my dab tools? Definitely want to try some of this rosin. Oh, I have to go poop. Oh, that was a large fart. That bought me at least 60 seconds. 10:32, everybody. My mouth is drooling. I can smell hash. Big time. Can you? Oh, we got some gorgeous nugs in here. Woo! This stuff reeks. We got that purple haze in here. Got that ooey gooey, super rock hard, dense nuggy duggy. We got that blueberry for days. Fuck, this stuff's strong. I gotta hurry up and get this in my bowl. I gotta go crap. I'm gonna be playing a game of COD while I take a crap. I hope you all can join me for that. It's gonna be awesome. I want to show you this on a live stream. So we're gonna talk about this and why I'm such a boss. Okay. Nobody, I don't care who you are, where you're from, nobody has hash like the hash, man. Forget about it. You don't even know. All different kinds. I can't wait to show you this stuff. This stuff has a blue hue to it, and no, you're not seeing it because this is not actual. Good light. You will get blue light. You will get great light right away. But I have no dab tool to put that on the thing. Where are my dab tools? I think they're over there. How would they not be with all my hash? I'm using a knife right now for a dab tool. Yeah, I am using a knife for a dab tool. I mean, I'm not dabbing with it. I'm just applying. I'm putting it into. Oh my goodness, we have to go. I had too many smoothies this morning. It's come straight through me. Oh, we're trying to hurry. I am doing all that I can. Right now, I'm fighting while having to hold a crap in. And I am doing large lunge kicks. I'm doing spin kicks, axe kick. Holy, I didn't shit my pants and I just did a straight up axe kick. I just did another one. Flying fury of doo-doo in the pants. My God, this stuff is so fragrant. I'm gonna make a batch of bubble hash today. And make some dry sift today. I'll be pressing some bubble hash today into bubble hash rosin. I'll be pressing some unreal dry sift into rosin. Oh, I have to fart again, but this time that fart has to be made over a toilet bowl. Oh my God, we gotta hurry. I'm doing everything in my power to get this quickly done here. I am such a boss. I like to keep everything fresh, airtight as well. All right, I'm gonna play a tune here. I have been drinking that milk. That is so awesome. Oh my God, that is so awesome. Please just try not to call it milk so it doesn't influence anybody to, to be horribly mean to cows. But great on you, bro. I'm gonna go to YouTube Studio. You already know what time it is. We're pulling up a song called Tibet. Holy smokes, our views are up 4,000%. Our watch time is up 3,700%. Thank you so much. That's incredible. Wow, average view duration, 12 minutes, 17 seconds. Y'all showed up. Y'all friggin' showed up. Oh man, do I ever have to crap. So we gotta get this going here right quick. Give me a second.
Hi, Robert. The more we know, the more powerful we become. So when the news lies to you, they're making it so. You are not powerful, but feeble. And so many don't understand this. So many of you think that the news is there to give you guidance. I call the news stations and I say, "Fear me, I know what you are." And you think I'm kidding. You think I'm kidding, though. This is what you're absolute spineless weasels. I call the news stations and I say, "You better tell the truth. We're watching." And I say, why don't you report on Epstein? Why don't you report on anything but ice cream cones and egg and dairy factories and steak factories, you know? And they're just saying how tasty they are. They're not telling you that last year scientists all over the world ruled meat a carcinogen. You don't even understand what the world did last year and why the elites went vegan, because they were told you're gonna die from eating the meat that's in the world now. Meat was classified carcinogenic, the same or worse than a pack of smokes, depending on how you cook your meat on a barbecue. Just fucking brilliant minds out there. Daft as fuck. But you allow the news to give you your information, which I've explained and shown to the masses, comes late, if ever. You get it last, the real story. They're like, oh, in news today, most of the world is now vegan. Except for all you fools at home that were listening to us tell you how good meat was and high protein. And unfortunately, there are those that are too stupid to understand. You know, they can't look down and see their gut and realize that, oh, I am a cow, I am a beef farmer. that's never been skinny in my existence. Go vegan. Just eat vegetables. 1 week. I bet you drop 20 pounds. Most of you are you're just too lazy, too willless. You don't have power. Willpower comes from conscience that guides you correctly. I mean, your conscience can't not guide you correctly unless you're born evil of evil, designed by evil for evil. You know, that's like the devil right there. And that I don't think the devil exists. I think the devil it taints good. I think everybody starts out a person, a vessel. You hear smart people say, I am a vessel that is to be filled with knowledge or hate or love or, you know, only information or only statistics or only, you know, something on electric cars is your passion, right? You're passionate. Your vessel simply wants to be, you know, one with nature. So you become an entomologist and learn about insects or whatever. You pick something that you like, you know, food, plants, and you fill your vessel with that. But now you take away all concepts. Like if you were to start back, if you were just born and nobody gave you influence or guidance, not in a bad way, just if you were born with by someone who didn't talk, which is a thing. There are people who are born, their mother doesn't speak, right? That person, in your mind, you're already thinking, oh, they're going to grow up and be sheltered. Or is it the opposite? You know, your parents or the people around you influence your behavior early on and put in place all you know as reality. Or I'll give you another example, and I often think of this analogy in my head. If you have an animal, a cat, a dog, a bird, a pig, a sheep, and you're evil to it, that animal only knows an evil life. How you doing, Dusty? Love you, bro. Happy Ishtar. It's pronounced Easter, but Ishtar is the god of fertility and sensuality. And this is that God's day. Like they say a long time ago, the book was forgotten and replaced with Christianity, I think 1300 or 1200. But before that, Easter was a day to remember eggs and rabbits, which aren't chocolate. It's fertility and banging. Sore, but I'm alive. Oh, what happened? Why, you just sore because that's how life is? Or did you hurt yourself extras? If you hurt yourself extras, tell me, buddy. So I may not hurt myself extras by doing what you did, bud. That's exactly where that's why. Just breaking up some wild hash here, buddy. We gotta figure out how to get you some bags. You gonna message me on the thing there? We're gonna get you some bags. You threw all your bags out. Fuck. I don't even recommend any bags. I was gonna say I'd send you bags I wanted to try and haven't bought for myself yet, and then you could try them. But what if you say you don't like them? I don't want to recommend any, but I can buy you some that I like. They're not cheap either. They're not expensive. Don't worry about it. They're not like you're awesome. I sent me meal times. My turn. But, or I could just do this actually. I think this is better. And I thought about this actually. Why don't I just buy a gift card and then I'll email you. Not email. I'll just send you it on in a feed. Not a feed to anyone. Like in a message to you, like in a direct message. I'll send you a code for a gift card, Amazon gift card money. Okay. I would like to see. I mean, you can buy whatever you want with them, like with it. But I would like you to try a set of bags that I haven't tried yet. I should just order them too. But I have bags. But if you do like them, then maybe I'll get them. But what if I can't get them for whatever reason come next week or 2 weeks from now? So I'm like, maybe I should just order them when I get this gift card for you. But I don't want to order them myself. I'd rather you order them. Do you like that idea or no? Oh, the bags come Amazon Prime. You have to have Amazon Prime. You could get it for free for a month. You can get someone in your family to get it for free. You guys may want to order something else too, something for the garden. You guys should all chip in or whatever. Figure it out. An Amazon Prime, it's up to you. But the reason I'm saying you should get it, because if you have problems, you can phone. If I have problems, I'll have to fly wherever they are and I'll lose it on them, buddy. I'll go extra, and I think it's better if I just let you do it. What do you think about that? Of course the phone sucks, eh? That'd be epic. I have to use my mom's. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, don't. Can you erase that, buddy? Anyway. Maybe you can show me some of your hash when you make it. Just like a little piece. I don't want to show too much on here, but I'll show you this for now. I got pieces I didn't put together or anything. But I'll show you some more after. I just don't know where I'm going to do all this. It's my Easter egg. I'm making chocolate Easter eggs all day today. Hash man slow, you fuck. This is the fucking good stuff, buddy. And YouTube was saying I was doing something illegal on here. I swear. The police must think YouTube is fucked. The police think in Winnipeg think YouTube is fucked. We're gonna have to figure out how it's legal for them to, under the Freedom of Information Act and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, rather. I want to use the Charter of Rights and I want to use the Charter against YouTube. Hard though. I want to bend them, and then hammer what my ancestors gave to me and you with it. Hammer. I want to explain to corporation, never again in Canada. I found some people in government that are gonna take over for everything. Not saying right now, I'm just saying in the future these people will be the next Canadian leaders. And me and you will see to it, buddy. And your family will help. And my family is obviously willing. But a lot of people's families throughout Canada will help. The next age of government will not be ruled how it was this time. I'm so fed up. The government's failed the world, and the world watched in awe of the lack of response of medical equipment, trained professionals speaking on this, lack of response from the World Health Organization verbally in front of a camera so we can hold them accountable. They've sat by it. Meanwhile, it's them. But it's like, oh no, we're not talking though. You guys talk.
That's what your job is. Your job is to lie to the people. And they're like, so everything, it looks good. You can just see their face. They're like, if can you help? Help? Can you help me? Like, I'm in peril right now. You can just see it in their faces, you know? I've been playing poker since before I was 18. And I grew up poor. So the few bucks I had, you would have to not only pry out of my cold dead hands, I would eat it. I would make sure I ate beans and chili and, you know, the most food, carrots and peas and onions, raw, just straight raw. I'm not happy with the lies spoken aloud to the masses, to my mom, you know. My mom had to hear lies, you know. My mom's been around too long, paid far too much into the system. Oh man, the amount of service that one person gives at age 70 or 68 or 65, if you worked hard, you know, had others basically steal from you your whole life. It's the way of the elites. When you have something they want, and they offer you a little bit of money, and you don't take it, they'll break in and steal it. They'll find your best friend, bust them. Seriously, you guys gotta hear me out. They'll bust your best friends. They will. So with this, there's other things that they can do. I don't really want to get into if this is real. There's things they can do to people to get to you. Think about what this is, right? So not only could they bust your best friend and hold something over them, right? This fine that we won't go fill out, we won't go hand in, but we'll fill it out and charge you, but we'll just fuck with that date, bud. Your word against ours. You're the drug addict here, and you should hear the shit in my lifetime as a 20-year-old man that I was told by my friends, you know. The despicable, you know. They say it's like, you know, back in the day, I don't think I should say too much. It's just better if I don't. There's certain things I understand, and that's that. I'm not scared. I'm just intelligently still here. I should probably do a massive archive, you know, a one-time showing like I did the other time. I have to count everything and put it all in my bells and whistles. But we'll see. I am considering kind of a final show. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not sick. I want to live forever, so I'm trying to do my best to keep my immune system healthy. I don't do any drugs. I absolutely don't do any hard drugs. I have a medical license for cannabis. And I love chocolate. I love ooey gooey chocolate. I'm gonna cut this open in my bathroom like I did on the other episode there all those years ago, 2.5 years ago, whatever it was, 2 years ago. I'm gonna cut this open. I got more here. Lots to show, and We'll get her done. Maybe I'll, I don't know. I did a few videos, didn't I? I made some videos. I definitely pumped some hash knowledge out for people, right? Fucking wasn't. It's okay though. This one is a fucking brick. But still, I shouldn't. Definitely don't want to be dropping these on the ground. And again, hate to say it, I have so much that I'm blessed. When I turn this into my cannabis oil for edibles and stuff, I will be, there's some on the screen here. Just don't want the screen to drop. This is some grade A stuff here. The big ball. 2 grams in here, I'm not going to bother showing that. Tons over here though. Okay, we got this. I mean, for fuck's sakes. I better got this. We have our cured hash as well. This is bubble. Different grades of bubble. Different batches of bubble. Huge batches of bubble. This is only first and second runs of bubble. Maybe 1/3 in one of these. It's a little bit greener. Put it all in there. This one doesn't have very much at all. I have some of this. Smells a little bit. I have bags with some hash in it. We have to get it going. Like nothing, but a few grams in there. Check this stuff out. Oh man. No. You should have built a taller shack. Your shack's tall, isn't it? Like, you're running into height issues? What the fuck? You scrub, buddy. How the hell are you running into height issues? Oh, I think I know what you mean for your tents. Thinking of testing a light mover and a 1,000 watt. Go for it. I mean, my buddy used a light mover. Pretty sure it didn't last that long. I don't recommend light movers, buddy. I mean, you can do what you want. You should just get a 1,000 watt and a 400 watt or something in place. Or, can I tell you, get like 3 600s, 630s. If you're worried about if it's the cost, that's a thing. That sucks. You really gotta make the plunge. I don't wanna fucking, there's so many doofies I watch on here, I'm not here to help them. Message me and I'll give you my 3, you tell me your exact thing. And then there's a way to figure it out. Well, I'm not talking about it on. You can type. I'll just make sure that I don't say the question and the answer when I talk, and then I'll just hide this chat after. You can. I thought about it. You can totally do your thing in the chat, but you should just message me so I get a sneak peek. It's nicer than the other one. Obviously, I agree with this stuff. Holy chocolate bar, but still, the amount of diamond. The other one didn't really have diamond like this. I'll say this on their behalf. Although this is better. My varieties are way better than any LP in Canada. Like this, the consistency of this is stupid. But wait till you see how the whole thing. I can't believe it, but the yield is really fucked. The yield on this is so minute, but holy shit, is it pure. Like this ball here that I have, this Easter egg is gonna be something to remember. I'd say this hits 100K views. I'm not one to be like, oh, this is gonna get this many views. I don't know how they do it, what goes into it. But I'm going to go on a tiny limb here that is made of some serious steel. And say this gets 100K views pretty quick. I'm not going to list what this is though. Hard as a rock. And absolutely the most pliable and melty thing you've ever seen. Again, hard as a rock. The smell on this is incredible. It's got such... Oh my god, it's the most unique crystal heads. I cannot wait to zoom in on this. Just like to share ideas with my bro. And you understand way more. It's all good anytime. Before you do anything, you should just quickly message me just so I could, once you run by, once you give me what you were thinking like that, I could just give you like a different way with a huge yield, buddy. But I don't want to get, like I said, I don't want to get into it on here, like in this chat. But if you message me in an old comment section, I'll delete that thread after I reply to you, and you can just screenshot what I say. That's how you can get at me on YouTube. I don't care. I mean, it sucks that YouTube gets to see that. I mean, I hate for them to see it. You know that? It's such it's like everything, you know? Your room is perfect. You know, your ceiling is not fine. Your ceiling is perfect. You just have to grow for the room that you have. How high is your ceiling? I thought you had an 8 foot or 9 foot. I think you had 8.5 or 9. You either have 8.25, 8.5, or 9. I swear you had that high. Or were you like 7.75? No, I thought you were taller than that. That's perfect. Wow. What's the dimensions of it? What's the full dimensions? Of just not of the other side, just the one side. Just the side that's a whole room. I don't even remember what that one looked like actually. But I don't want to. Should I make it the same? You pick a shape, buddy. An egg? I suck at eggs. I mean, I guess I could try. And you tell me the shape there. Well, let's make the. No, you pick the shape, buddy. You pick a shape, and you pick a design, and I will try and bring it to fruition in that gorgeous ball of hash we made together. Wow. So, I often get asked the question, which is your favorite hash? Oh my. Strawberries and cream, but apricots were here. Above that was this like a pineapple apricot, honey, maple syrup honey. Sour, lime, was through everything. There was, but not bad lime. Key lime. It was key lime. It's fucking me in the mouth. Key lime. Subtle. Everything. Holy Fruitopia without the shitty flavor of Fruitopia, and the real, true Fruitopia, organic. I had this one time. I'm gonna say something. Should I say it? Pound of blueberry. All buds. Huge colas. A whole pound of blueberry. 2000. Year was 2000.
pound of blueberry. I pulled out, I won't say how much. I pulled out the most beautiful, huge ass ball of blueberry hash anyone in North America had ever seen before. Nobody in 2000 was putting a pound of blueberry. Cola, like blueberry too. They're like, fuck, most people are getting blueberry buds like thimble size. I had dried colas, you know. Like bulrushes on roids. But like boom, like rocks. And it was the most like, I call it like Smurf Village or whatever, you know. It had these like a mushroom sort of cap into the blueberry bud. It was like the most unique structure on a cola. Anyone who saw this, if you got any of something like this, you got 3 grams. Your hand was, you had bud that would make your whole block reek like blueberry. But you had 3 grams. In 2000, if you were lucky. And I mean, if you were blowing dudes, you might have had a couple of G's, 3 G's. Maybe a quarter once in your life, you know? And I'm sitting with a cup, like I got a bag, right? And the difference between most people's stories is, Buddy said the saying, if you don't have a picture, it didn't happen. What if you have video, bud? What if you have video of the beauty that I'm speaking of? What if you have many videos, you know? So the difference between everyone and me is that I'm not a bullshitter. If I tell you a story, it's not a story because I got the video. Blow me. So I'm sitting there with this fucking pound. Oh yeah, it's on. Just fucking run the water till it's so cold you don't even know. I only make hash most of the time if I got like freezers full of ice, you know? I'll go stock up on ice so it doesn't look weird for 2-3 weeks. You know, I'll buy 6 bags. I'll go to each store twice a day, morning and late at night when the shift changes. And I'll buy ice. 20. I'm a fucking hash god, yo. Fucking water's freezing cold. You stick your fingers in there for a sec, your dick just shrinks back into your throat. Boy, that's the good stuff. Jam your buckets under there. You start washing them. Ice cold water. You just want to really get the shit off the sides. These are buckets that were only used for hashing. Maybe have some dust on there. But you want to make sure that that bucket never gets warm. So you freeze your bucket. Dump the water. Rinse it out 3, 4, 5, 6 times till if your OCD says it's half wet, rinsed out and pretty much half clean, and the bucket's never been used for hash. It's brand new from Home Depot, eh? Canadian Tire, whatever you had back then. We had, and I'm not going to say it, it was a local lumber yard. Good thing I didn't say it. So here we go. And there's no one doing this in Manitoba. There might have been 5-6 people doing it 3-5 years later. There was probably 100, you know. I don't care where you lived, unless you're a BC and you were a grower, you knew about this. If you weren't a grower, you were one of the coolest dudes because you recognized. And you're innovative and creative, and you're not a follower, you were a leader. So you decided, I want that kit so I can begin to craft my tech. And I chose to do that 20 plus years ago. 20 years experience lands you. What I'll show you today crafted some of the most ultra. This is a freezing cold environment I'm in. When I put this into the sun to bask, a few weeks or a month, this thing will literally puddle. It will puddle. And I've been squishing her. It snowed a bit last night. Thanks, buddy. And that sucks. We're supposed to get about, they're saying a few more days of cold weather. That tells me that I got to, because every time it snows for you, oddly enough, it seems we get a little bit more of a dumping. I mean, it's not that odd, but it is kind of considering, well, I don't understand I don't understand their lie for how they say the Colorado Clippers or whatever something comes from over there. I don't want to talk about it. If you start to, you get mind fucked. As soon as we talk about their fakeness, they create weather. The first thing I thought was that's a lie. What they tell you, they create weather. The rainmakers, Google rainmakers in United States of America. They drove around on bicycles over 150 years ago, 130 years ago, and you would pay them, farmers of the town or the city or the village you lived in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You would pay the rainmaker, who is a government official, to make it rain in your area. I am livid at this. Now I think it's how much taxes you pay determines your nice weather. I don't know. Or maybe your village is in on it, and basically you give 90% of your crops to kings and queens, so that you don't have to have no season at all, like some provinces here, unfortunately, in Canada. And as Dusty knows, like you guys, I don't know what's going on. It seems like they're battering us with bad weather in certain areas, and other areas don't get so bad. And I can't really say anything why. And please, even if you think you could be jeopardizing stuff, so just don't comment on that. Let's change the subject once more. And it's not because I'm trying to hide something, it's for the better of everything that's around. I strongly believe that if we could end all wars, with other countries, and Canada could just reach out and say, look, you don't have good water. We have, battleships, and America has battleships. We'll put tankers on them. We'll load up the tanks, we'll take off the big guns and all the heavy parts, and we'll implement like huge trailers with water containers on them, and we'll track those through the desert, twice a week, right? We could, and make them solar powered tanks or something, like get Tesla involved, electric car and things like that. We have to change, retrofit now quickly the army into medics, really. If all army learned how to help, and I think that even the term medic is a real, I don't know, I looked online and medics make the highest amount of money that I could find. Medics were making, the doctor and the medics were making $150 a year. I don't want to talk about money, but you probably have to be right on the battlefield, running out there, grabbing the hurt people, or working on them right there in the middle of a battlefield, right? Or they'll bleed out, right? So, and then the medic is probably told to run out where the captain is, where there's a minefield, rocket launchers, and like heavy fire, plus they're fucking flying planes over that area heavier because there's no anti-aircraft back. It's all back, on the line that they're holding. And the only way that can advance is when the troops advance, but there's too much heavy fire, and then the grenading and the minefield is keeping them from advancing anywhere. It's not even tactical, it's just a pure death and mayhem. And it's actually a game to a person. I like war games, and I know it sounds really bad saying that. I would never want to hurt innocents. In fact, there's Ulysses S. Grant says you can't have, the only time I advocate for war, this is him saying this, I'm quoting someone, is to bring peace, right? So I don't like the thought of war to bring peace. But what if someone is waging a war on 6 countries right now, and they're in those countries hurting them? And do you go in with, do you go in with Bibles and Christianity, or do you go in with, saying anything, or do you go in with strategy and war, and then do you like get rid of all wars? I guess, unfortunately, I think maybe this happened. I think a country was so powerful and they brought peace to the lands, but then we forgot that history, and someone else evil came in and took over that power and used the power of like that. They had complete control, we'll call it. And there's many ways you could have that, but I still remember an episode of the Smurfs, and it's not from this reality even. I'm from Earth 1. You guys are from, most of you are Earth 2. Some of you came over, but I don't know how that works exactly. Basically, your memories were wiped, and mine didn't get wiped. I remember in the 89 or so, 88, my family sitting around the kitchen table talking about Mandela being killed. And my Amma was very strong, advocate for human rights. Hi, Baba. Bobby's Bobby's here. Hi, baby. Hi, Bob. Hi, Baba. You see yourself? Oh, it's a baby. Hi, Bob. Hey, Baba. Hey, you want me to put you down? You having a nice time? Okay, you ready? Okay, you want to put me? Okay, here. Oh. Hey, Dusty says hi. Dusty says hi. He's like, I wanted to see him. That's why I came by. You, Bob? It's your buddy? Episode of the Smurfs. I don't know how old I was. I used to wake up at 3 in the morning. Robert, you sit on my toes with your ass and your tail, and I'm sitting like a pigeon. I'm sitting like one of them, a flamingo, with my leg to the side. And he'll go and sit like underneath my leg with his ass on my foot that is planted. Oh, he wants to do. Oh, you're so cute. Come here, baby. Shh. Oh, hi. Yeah, you want to see up there, eh? You want to see up there? What is up there? What is that, a chicken? Is that a chicken up there? Or a rooster? Hey, Bubba? So this episode of the Smurfs, there's 2 giants. Yes. Oh. And I can't remember. I wish I could find it. There's one giant has a crown that is hidden somewhere in the land. Do the Smurfs put the crown on? And as soon as the Smurfs put the crown, I don't know, it's so long ago, and again, it's from another reality, right? So it's like hard to explain, but it's really a thing. But the psychologist on the highest level knows, they also are from, Earth 1 or even more. They're a creator that is a psychologist. All doctors, it's the weirdest thing. Why does the sun have a snake around it? The tree of life has a snake around it that looks over it, that spliced off of its DNA to create us, a hybrid species, for blood transfusion, organ donation, blood donation for these things? Are we just walking vessels and blood bags for for an entity? When we make movies that perhaps we humans, which is just stupid, we humans are the ones that are actually, which it does make sense that they're going to give humans a little bit of power. So there's a show I was watching, I can't remember what it's on, but it's something to do with robots. And the guy from Django is in there, the guy with the accent. If you look up the guy from Django, you can find the movie I'm talking about. It's about robots and it's a newer movie. But he's a doctor that works on, he's a night ranger or something like this, but he's a doctor that hunts or something like that. It's kind of cool. It's not kind of cool, it's super cool. I was right on the hash, I was watching it and I fell asleep, and then I will never find that series again. So that sucks, right? Definitely looking for that one. Yeah, I even thought of something else that you could do, and I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, so consider that as well. And it's just temporary, probably wouldn't even know. But I think you should do it as well. But it kind of came to me last week, so I'm going to use this first, and then I don't have a dabber though. Sucks when you don't have a dabber, eh, dude? Holy. Do not fall. I can't see. in here on this? Absolute universe within. I got stuff that's see-through, but this stuff is all I can say. Come on. Oh, what happened? Yeah, this camera sucks now. I'll have to get a different something. This has been sitting out for days. Check that out, eh? I don't want to touch it too much. There's a couple tiny hairs on my fingers there. Pretty good though, my hand is warm. Oh, there's some stick there. I can feel my hand is nice and toasty though. It's all good. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. You got some questions there. The earlier? I'll tell you now. Let's check it now. I'll test these, what you're asking. Have you set up your veg yet? Nope. You'll be the first to know, buddy. I'm excited. My veg is going to consist of a lot of dabs. Wouldn't even know where to begin yet. I gotta make edibles. I gotta meditate, contemplate. Did you see when I started last year's? I mean, the majority, not just a couple there. It was about this time last year. So I'm very much predicting a good year this year. I want to do the garden at another location, but the veg, I don't mind if I started here. Once I get it going though, I don't want to have to keep worrying about snow. So because of that, I keep waiting to start it. Because you just told me there's snow, I won't start it again for a week, which is crazy, but that's nothing. People often, everybody does this every year. People always comment on others' starting times. I'm every year I'm blown away, by the newbies or by the first or second year. You know, you've got 42 tomatoes and 3 cucumbers under your belt, and you're telling others how to grow. It's like, no, bud. You gotta wait until shit isn't going down with the weather. You know, the first thing you learn is the history of the land we live on. It's a beautiful thing. I'm often amazed at the people that just don't get growing, you know?
live way out in the country and you built a house right next to somebody else, you know? I know so many people like that. Built just next door to next door to next door, and they got, before you know it, there's 16 blocks in an area. But if you go a mile out, you know, you could have built on that land, which is cheaper. Certain things you got to do, but maintenance and things like that. But if you account for those, and you use the land you live on to recoup a little bit of whatever you need it for, property tax, things like this, boy, you can really maybe turn a profit, let alone, you know, save just your, pay for your water and your lights, your energy or whatever. Water and gas. To be honest, it's still berries and cream. Oh. Pineapple. Like, I have that Pink Lady apple. It tastes like the juice from the Pink Lady apple. The tartness of that. There is some citrus in there, but it's mild. It's a tangerine, mango-y citrus that way. Lime. Straight through the middle. A sweet lime. A creamy lime. But definitely strawberries and cream still. Like, I don't know. There's blueberry in there, tastes like bubble gum, actually. So that cream could be a pink bubble gum that I'm tasting. It could very well be getting confused with a maple syrup pink bubble gum. It's so sweet. So sweet. Washed out the blender. I'm gonna wash the frying pan. Put these dishes away right now. 11. Put the dishes away, and then a couple hours. I'm gonna watch a bit of a show. My own show, but like one that I did a long time ago. I might put out a Google ad for it. It's a good one that tells the corporations off. But I don't know if I want to. We'll see. I'm curious if they're going to hinder my freedom of speech. That's a charter breach. And if it's a paid company. So if they're going to, it's basically a controlled monopoly on media, you know? They have paid advertising that's influencing war.
Mine definitely isn't. So I have to catch them in a couple huge things now and then solidify my journey. That's the one that brought down the biggest evil there ever was in the last 21st century. Alright, this pan is 90% clean. I'm gonna use this pan to make something today. I'm making curried potatoes, curried onions. I'm gonna throw peas in there at the end. It's gonna be awesome. If you don't have curry powder, it doesn't matter. If you don't have curry powder, that's okay. You can make olive oil potato with onion, the same ingredients. Mushrooms you can add. I'm adding mushrooms today. And peas. You can add green beans. You can add any of your favorite vegetables to a curry. A curry is the best thing in the world. And then later we're gonna, if you have bigger vegetables, cut them down to size a little bit. And we're gonna try our luck. Mash it up and then coat it in panko. Let it stiffen off. Then put it in the fridge. Any leftovers, let them harden off. Let those starches come together. And we're going to make little crispy golden balls. We're going to not even shallow fry, we're going to light toast them in a little bit of avocado olive oil in a pan. Then we're going to just very quickly, but just to give them a little something, we're going to keep it going like in a line. And have an oven on at 350, 420 range, probably 375-ish convection. We're going to put on a couple pieces of parchment paper I pressed on, and we're going to put those beautiful little crispy heavenly panko encrusted, just a light little fry on them for about 2 to 5 minutes, and then bake them in the oven for about 5 to 15 minutes depending on what they look like. I'm going to try a few. I'm going to make sure we put them, batches of 5 or 8 will go on with it, or maybe 7, 10, whatever this big ass pan holds. Oh shit, what the hell you guys were? Okay. So I'm going to use this big ass pan here. This thing's probably going to snap, but try not to let it snap, please guys. If it snaps, the thing's going to break. But we're going to get that done. So, shelter that beautiful ball on this gorgeous slab here. Move this over. Grab all this. Got a lot of sift to go through and stuff too. Take our time with it. None of this was made in a day, and we're sure is not going through it in a day, because that's not how, it doesn't work like that, And different hashish, different grades of hashish, different types of flower require serious attention, long durations of care. Everyone's a goof that's doing their hash in like 2 days. You don't even understand what it is. Nothing wrong with fresh frozen, but it is not what you think it is all the time. And the concept of fresh frozen is actually very large. It's not just a this is how it's done. And that's the shame behind these people that tried to push their advertising, you find out later, onto us, was advertising. That's he was I'm not gonna, don't say any names, but that goofy old dude was advertising off my back. I found out by Google. Like, oh yeah, he actually is paying to advertise off your back right now. I can see here. I'm like, so I didn't do that. You know, I didn't go back and like Bubble Dude advertises off my back. All of them. That's how the channels that are similar will be suggested after. But that's why it was heavily suggested. That old grubby dude, that's definitely a narc. You guys didn't realize, and probably most of you are still tooting his horn. And I'll say it again, that guy was in my chat in the beginning, gawking at my hash with med THC and these people begging for my tech. How do you get that sheen? I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, what? Buddy, I was, I'm a 20-year vet here, plus now. You should see my originals. Like, that was bunk grown. You should see the real hash strains we come across and we keep and we hold. And no one has these in the LP industry, that's for sure. And you're definitely not getting a hash strain when you buy cannabis from a dispensary. Sure, there's decent varieties, but you're not getting a 25 to 33% variety. They'll boast that, but you try it. This maybe got 15%, 20%. Or it's just a really botched batch that was a high genetic. That was a high. It was a good genetic at a. High THC content at a clone, but when you got a hold of it, deterred it, infested it, and all these different things. You didn't make it better. It's very hard to make a plant better. It isn't once you know what you're doing. But for those that don't get it, you probably never will because you're just trying to grow a plant and maybe make money off of it, or you're just trying to grow a plant to show someone else how good you grow. You're not actually spending the time in the room to go, man, I had this plant sitting against this. You don't sit there and contemplate the plant itself, It'll begin to basically talk to you through expression, right? This plant is expressing itself in this shape. Is it good? If it looks lanky, well, it's expressing itself lanky because of you, the god of the room that invented and created the room, environment, the rainmaker. You fucked up. So it's not that you're a shitty grower, you're a shitty grower if you don't make that connection and that correlation with your room and your environment and your genetics that you have available to you. As a master grower, I don't need to have, I don't need access to plants unless maybe you're old or you come from a land that has specific varietal that I may either be accustomed to or am not lacking. I have it, it's just I don't have it labeled. Yours may be of higher grade and organic, a higher potency, right? A stronger vigor. Could come from a better lineage that stayed stronger through times of prohibition. People's lights or the lack of light and the outdoor environment you provided. The sun did most of the work. You got good seasons. Here's the beans to prove it, right? Those beans are, that is serious. So sun-grown beans grown organically, veganically, there are nothing like those. That's people's biggest mistake, and I'm not here to babysit people and teach you, but if you don't get plants out into the bush that are 4 to 6 weeks in flower, you're missing out. You don't get the concept of growing. It's great that you housed it indoor, but let her bang out and finish outdoor. You won't believe your eyes. It's a different world. And then again, you got to understand that you can't be growing under 3 LED lights that are 75 watts and then go sink her into August or July's weather, ankle visitor once a day with a half a bucket of water. You got to 6 buckets set up around it, slow dripping into that thing for one day or even half a day, covered so the sun doesn't take most of the water, and then come back to that half a day and fill up the buckets again. And that's life. That's life of a master grower. You guys are, there are people who are on my level, but the majority that watch this video, you guys are never going to be on my level. Never. You couldn't even compare to me with your best family members' growing skills. I could outgrow your entire family naked in the bush, period. So when I talk, most people should be listening due to the fact that I've been doing this far longer than you've been thinking about it or researching it. Most people can talk, right? I've lived, I've seen, 10, 20, 30, 40 rooms, areas, little areas, just heating up the pan. And I love how people bring up I blazed for 40 years. I'm like, well, that's good. Like, when did you start growing? Well, my uncles and aunts grown, and my great grandmother grew. I'm like, holy fuck, like that, who cares? Like, fuck. That means nothing. First thing out of the gate I learned is, nowhere in there did you say they taught me how to grow, okay? The number one thing you should learn is I was taught by master growers with skills. I would embarrass the greatest growers YouTube's ever inflamed, like cancerous growth in your minds, poison they've polluted you with is so far-fetched. Like Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg is a weed idol. You guys have lost your shit. Snoop Dogg, go buy Snoop Dogg weed, fuck, have you lost your shit. The only people that should get attention are the master growers and the breeders that came and still are, that came first, that lived before, Holy, does the world ever have a lot to learn about branding and marketing, and how stupid most of you are. And I'll say it again, I meet more famous people in fucking last year and the year before. I met more famous people that I thought were cool, or bumped into people or met people that said they knew people, and these are my best friends. They're all like, these people are fucking fake. Spineless Weasel, he was like twitching, he was like scared when you passed in the reefer, it was like he was flinching on you. But I was like, fuck, really? Oh yeah. Whoa, right? What? I don't know. Some people, I met a couple famous people. I was playing poker one time, I can't say where, and these people are rich, like filthy rich. I'm not gonna say anything, but they're filthy rich. They make more money legally, doing something in the world, and they just had like stacks and stacks. And I'm like, you guys seriously cover this? When you where's the shit that covers this? And they're like, why? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm like, you invited me, fuck. Like, this is weird to me. I said, where's the covering on this? I think this is a scam, right? You rich fuckers are trying to take my $4,000, right? And nope,
there's fucking a room full of stacks labeled specifically with, oh, I can say this, with people's jerseys. You know, this fucks money with this jersey on underneath it, you know? Signed jersey. If you take this, you get this jersey signed and whatever else. Like tons of shit. Memorabilia. Plus, you take a stack of cash. Ah. I never really thought people. I didn't think there was people like that. I'll say that. I didn't think they were allowed to, is something else I'll say. I never realized how it was, and that's all I can say. But it's crazy what's out there. I'll say that. It's crazy what's out there. And then the last thing, I think we'll just end this one. I'm gonna fry up some onion, potato, curry powder here. Fancy molasses. I got some ginger. I got some cane sugar. And some flour, I guess. I don't even know what goes in ginger cookies, but I'm gonna make those today. So, oh, and then yeah, I guess the oil. So I'll have shit. I don't know. I fucked up. I gotta get oil of some kind. I got peanut oil because of this peanut butter. I got some olive oil, about a half jar. So I got like 400 milliliters. Oh, just shy of 2 cups. But I got this curry powder I'm going to use, some garlic. We got taco seasonings and chili seasoning. Well, fuck, don't talk about chili. I really want chili, but oh my god, I have to wait like one more whole month. I gained 12 pounds eating chili. I weighed 187, 182, or 185, something crazy. Now I weigh 175, 177. But my god, I weighed less than that. And I don't remember how much I weighed, but I was a little bit less. Might have been 171, 172. I went up to 185, I think, or 182. I went up a lot. Just from 2 days of chiliing. You know, I didn't eat any extra chocolate than normal or anything. It was 6 bowls of chili one day, and then I had 4 the next morning, and then 2 the next evening, and I was like literally out here. I hope I got a chili shit soon. I hope I chili shit soon, because this is like 3 food. I'm having triplet food babies. I'm gonna need a real. And then I had 2 chili shits and a smoothie shit, and I felt about 3 pounds, 2 pounds lighter for sure. Good 2 solid pounds. And then it was like an hour later, 4 shits, and I was like down 4 pounds. And then later that week, the rest of the chili shits came out of me. I was down 4 or 5 more pounds, 4 pounds again. So I like to cook off, get the pan nice and cooked off, right? Oh, and the size on this, I can't tell you. It's big. It's a big pan. You could cook 3 hands nicely in. I know it sounds super gross, but obviously I don't eat human hands. I don't eat meat. I've been doing smoothies, these protein powders, and I get bigger on them, because I do work, I do stuff that's, I lift stuff. I don't like taking protein powder though. I feel like it's, I don't know, I don't want to get too big. Plus then once you get more muscle, then your spine compacts on you. Think of it like a plant that you haven't budded out yet, and it's going to get more, like a lot more bud on top. It's just like a couple weeks in flower, but the stalk is doubled, it's about to triple.
it's stretched. It's now like 10 feet tall instead of 7, 6, or 5. You know, if you got a good double offer, or if she tripled in size and she's still going. Maybe 150%. Maybe that's too much. Triple. To double a plant is hard to do. Totally possible. Doubling a plant is kind of like, holy crap. Not the greatest. It's a beautiful thing, but man, if you're indoor, you can handle it. Even still, it's kind of lanky. Indoor, you'll have small buds lower if you double up. But it's kind of cool to see once or twice in your life. I recommend you trying to, you know, call it, you know, at a certain age, way before you put it into flower. Measure the height. You have to do that, actually. That's part of growing, but breeding, really. I mean, growing too. How you judge how much you have to water is by how tall it gets. And duration it gets means how much you more aggressively you have to feed. As you water, the roots travel down. And if you're only watering a half cup a day, then the water only goes down about a third of the way on the planter pot. Your roots are way down here. How are they supposed to keep going down the way they're supposed to grow to the bottom if you don't water that much? Because you don't realize this plant is aggressively growing high. So most people's biggest mistakes is not to encourage growth by watering more. You're trying to make your plants fat. Huge tip for you. Hope you all love the show. And you won't be able to. A healthy plant is a happy plant. You ain't gonna have a healthy plant if you're not feeding them. Now, I'm not saying overfeed. Feed to what the plant can endure and take up. Hopefully you have more than one plant and more than 1 year of growing experience with said plant, so it should be a cakewalk for you. Biggest mistake people make is they don't even understand their so-called favorite plants. Do they require a shit ton of water or just a wee bit every day? 3 waterings a day or 6? Do they love the heat or don't they? Do they fucking get stressed out in windstorms and stunt and hermy or snap the weak little branches? You gotta scrog it. Like I said, most people suck at growing, so you're gonna have 4 underlying possibilities instead of just one. If you're an ultimate grower, it's easy to tell that the plant is suffering because it fell over 6 times last night, you know, and you went out in the middle of the night naked, lifted it up. Okay? Next thing, I do want to know, is why the plant is your favorite. Is it simply the favorite at the time because all you've been on is a completely different variety, so it swings your endocannabinoid system to a different terpene, which you now like better because you've been on the other terpene that's more effective, but you built up an extreme tolerance because you never tolerance break? If you don't tolerance break, how can you call yourself a breeder? If you don't tolerance break to know exactly to start at the drawing board at the beginning with a fair slate across the board for every variety, BS. I don't think you understand cannabis. For me to ultimately say what last year's best was with my amount of variety, I can safely tell you I still don't know because I have much more testing to do. Now, does that mean I'm not going to just pick some? Of course. I know all of them that I want to have, but am I being fair to everything else that I have that I haven't done yet? So that's what sucks. And now that I have it, I should probably wait another one and do more old. It just sucks because some of them are so small right now. Some of them have to be, taken the outdoor way. But man, are they ultimates. But this channel suffers only in the aspect I teach for free. And I don't like that. Like I've always said, it's a give and take, eh? But people's skills are very limited in some aspects. Like throwing a humidifier in a room when your humidity, if you're growing in your basement, just water a little more frequently. Spray your plants a couple times more a day. Outdoors, there'll be a cool breeze that blows by. And that cool breeze comes with very low humidity. That's what makes it feel so cool compared to that hot mess most of summer has. Oh. Anything you looking forward to test run? Anything I'm looking forward to test running? Is that what you're asking? I don't know. I wish I didn't even have to call it testing, because I wish there was already a place that had all this done so that I wouldn't have to figure out what works best for my pain. You know, I'm basically creating an archive for Canada. A terpene profile, complete hash database for not for the world, but let's be serious. I'm in Canada, and I am in the medical grips of the Canadian government. You know. Doesn't mean it. They don't know, you know. My argument is this. These companies that just started and they're looking to hire someone that knows how to grow. That company knows fuck all. And they're putting all their integrity into this probably crackhead meth fucking dealer who also knows how to grow a bit of cannabis. His uncle was a grower. But he sells coke to this rich guy, and they're like, hey, you know, hey, I fucking had this idea. You know, if we do coke and sell weed at the same time and then funnel the coke money into the weed industry, we make a lot of money. And the cokehead looks at the other cokehead. And the other guy's like, yeah. Oh yeah, there. What does a cokehead do? It grinds her teeth. I'm not on coke, bud. What? I'm not on cocaine. Are you talking to me, man? I'm not on cocaine, man. The fucking weirdest fucks out there, man. Meth, a horrible thing. I've seen meth addicts in person with my own eyes. Like, not doing it, but fucking literally probably did some kind of weird shit meth. I don't know how you do meth. Like, is it like this? I think meth addicts that get it off, they suck it off the tip of dudes or something like that. I'm pretty sure meth addict. Is this how a meth addict gets his meth? I don't know. I am mind boggled at the people who own a licensed facility in Canada. And I know I hear the same thing in America. It's all the fucking government and the cops. I own them all. All the DEA. Fucking Cypress Hill got a weed license. And the more and more I think about it, and the more and more I look on Instagram. See, they revealed all their cards when they put their informant narcs on Instagram.